Hello everyone and welcome back to another video from Homemaker. Before I start with our today's video, I would like to thank all our viewers who have liked and subscribed to our channel. And if you haven't done it so far, please don't forget to subscribe for our new releases every week. So friends, today we will be talking about one of the most hardy plants amongst all the house plants that we have talked about in the past, and that plant is this one. This plant is known as dragon tree or Dracaena Marginata, also known as the Madagascar dragon tree, which tells us that these plants are native to the tropics of Madagascar and belongs to Asparaceae family. Now these plants are very well known for their sword-like foliage. They are really stunning, beautiful, and they come in many different colors, many different shades of green, cream and red. Now this one that you are seeing in front of you is called Dracaena Marginata tricolor, because this plant, as you can see, it has got red borders with green in the middle and few strikes of cream as well. But these plants are famous for their beautiful foliage. They are famous for their air purifying properties. According to NASA Clean Air study, dragon trees have proved to be very effective air purifying plants. They can remove airborne toxins and other microbes from the indoor spaces. So that's why this plant can be grown indoor as well as outdoor because of its tolerance to a wide range of temperature and lighting conditions. These plants are perfect drought tolerant plant. They're very low maintenance. What else do you want for a beginner plant? So this is a perfect house plant for anyone to be kept in the house, or even you can plant them outdoor. Now this plant outdoor I have from lots and lots of years, and it's been doing really great. I have even propagated this plant many times, and it just keeps on giving out more and more growth, especially during spring and summer. A very low maintenance, forgiving plant this is. So when I talk about its lighting and temperature and all that tolerance, I'll start by talking about the care of this plant. As I said, this plant is very easy to care for. So starting with the lighting conditions, these plants can tolerate bright indirect light. They can also survive in a low light condition, but always keep this thing in mind that exposing these plants to a low light condition for a very long time will reduce their growth, and also the size and shape of these leaves will also get shortened, and the color, the intensity of the colors might also get a little bit dull. So when you are keeping this plant in a low light corner, make sure to provide a little bit of bright indirect light from time to time to this plant so that it does not affect its growth. Whereas if you provide this plant with direct sun exposure, then obviously the plant is going to suffer from sunburn, or if not sunburn, the corners of the leaves will start turning brown because of lack of humidity and too much of temperature. So just make sure that you provide the right amount of balance of the lighting to this plant, so to make sure that it's growing happy and healthy and doing its job when it's indoor or outdoor. Moving on towards soil conditions, so Dracaenas, any sort of Dracaenas, they love a well draining soil. The loamy soil is the one that is most preferred out of these for these plants, but you can also use peat moss. It is slightly acidic. These plants do like a slightly acidic soil, but you have to make sure that the soil does not contain lots of salts and fertilizers and the chemicals in it, because the roots of these plants are very sensitive to any sort of chemical. So if there are more salts or chemicals in the soil, you'll see the direct effect on the plant, because the leaves will start falling over, or they will start going dull, or they'll have brown patches or something. The plant will not have that same vigor. So the loamy soil is best for them. You can use a regular potting mix. You can add a little bit of peat moss in it, lots and lots of perlite or pumice or coarse sand, whatever you have in your home, and make sure that your pot has got enough of drainage holes so that the excess of water can seep through. These plants are susceptible to root rot, very sensitive to overwatering. Any plant is sensitive to overwatering. So just make sure that you check the soil before you water. So when we are talking about soil and watering, let's talk about the watering conditions. So as I said, check your soil before watering. Make sure the top half of the pot has dried out. The soil has dried out, and then you water your plant. Make sure you use rainwater or distilled water, because the normal tap water might contain fluorides, chlorides, bromides and all sorts of chemicals in it, which can affect the roots of these plants. Rainwater is perfect for these plants, or distilled water you can use, or if you don't have rainwater or distilled water, you can take the tap water, leave it in your watering can for about 24 to 48 hours outside, and then water your plant. So that way the fluorides or any sort of gases can evaporate, and then you water your plant. You can do that. Next is the fertilizing. So these plants are not very heavy feeders, so even if you do not fertilize your plants, that's perfectly okay. I have never fertilized my Dracaenas. None of the Dracaenas I have fertilized ever so far, and they all are doing really great. But if you still want to fertilize for better growth of your plant, you can use a half strength complete liquid indoor fertilizer, or you can use a weak dilution of seaweed solution to fertilize your plants. But even if you don't fertilize, that's okay. During spring and summer only, because during winters these plants kind of go dormant and they don't need a lot of fertilizer during that time, so no need to fertilize during winter season. Next is repotting. So this plant that you are seeing is directly into the soil, so I don't need to repot it. But if you have your Dracaena into the pot, repot your Dracaena only if there is need to repot, because these plants don't mind to be root bound. And if you see the roots coming out through the drainage holes, please go ahead and repot your plant. You can change the soil, but even if you leave your Dracaena in the same pot and it's doing well, then just there's no need to repot. You can probably add on to some compost or worm castings to provide that extra nutrition to your plant. Next is propagation. They are very easy to propagate plants. All you have to do is take a clean pair of pruners or scissors or knife, whatever you use, and just make a snip wherever you want in your plant, and then place it directly into the water. Within a week or two, you will see the roots coming out, and once the roots are well developed, just transfer it into the soil, and the soil would be the same that I told you before. That's it. You don't need any rooting hormone, you don't need any sort of honey, this, that, nothing you need. Just put it in water, and within 2 to 3 weeks, the roots will start coming out. It's that easy to propagate these plants. That's how you, and what will happen to the mother plant is, once you cut the top bit from here, you will see 2 more branches coming out from the top end from where you snipped it. So you will get 2 more branches, and it'll look beautiful, like it'll look more bushy, it'll look more beautiful. The one, if I'm not sure you can see this one, I'll show you. Over here, if you can see, there are 3 to 4 branches of the Dracaena. So same way. So same way it will give out over here also if you cut it at this end. So that's how easy it is to propagate. We'll talk about the pests. These plants are very resistant to pest attack. They hardly get any pest attack. I haven't seen my Dracaenas getting attacked by any mealybugs or aphids, thrips, scales, nothing. These plants are very resistant to all sorts of pest attack and anything. But still, if you see your Dracaena having an attack of mealybugs or any sort of pest, neem oil solution is the perfect choice to remove and get rid of all those nasty pests. You can make use of baking soda solution, you can make use of hydrogen peroxide as well. And also, I'll talk about the temperature conditions. So these plants do like warm temperatures ranging between 70 to 80 degree Fahrenheit, and humidity, normal indoor humidity is just fine for these plants. They don't need a lot of humidity. The normal average indoor humidity is okay for them. And if you have this plant outdoor and the place where you are gets frosty and colder, please bring this plant inside. But if it's in the ground, obviously you cannot take it out. But if it's in the pot, you can bring your plant inside and make sure it is placed in a warmer spot rather than a freezing frosty spot. But here in Australia during winters, it really gets very cold and frosty, and these plants are outside most of the times and they are okay. Like, I have never seen any problems. Maybe I can say that the leaves during the winters, the leaves might fall over, few of the leaves, but other than that, these plants are so hardy. They're happy in that frosty temperature as well here. So yes friends, so this was all about Dracaena marginata and its care. If you have any questions or suggestions, please do let us know by commenting in the comment section, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you really liked our video, please do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and informational videos, and we will see you next time with another video. Till then, stay safe. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.